If you've stumbled across this video, you're most likely trying to find a way to clear body acne on your chest, your back, your arms, even your butt and leg area. I know how this feels, especially during the summer when you want to wear a cute top or bathing suit, or even if you're doing something where you're going to show your back. Anytime that you're showing skin and it has blemishes, it can be incredibly stressful and embarrassing. I figured out my own system to basically clear up my skin and also deal with any reoccurring blemishes that pop up, especially in the summer, and especially when I'm working out and any type of sweat is irritating my skin or clogging my pores. And I have a basic 3-step system that really worked for me, and it's the way I cleared my skin and also how I maintain it in the long run for any type of issues that arise, especially in the summer when I'm sweating a lot. And if I'm getting ready to do something where I'm going to be showing off more skin, I make sure I have this set in play to kind of nip it in the bud. I have one thing that I use as a boost that really made like a game changer for how I cleared up everything. And if you're dealing with facial acne and KP as well, KP is that like chicken skin, strawberry skin. It's often on the back of your arms and legs and butt. These ingredients are similar, often quite similar to treatment, but they're a little bit different. So I have videos on facial acne and also KP. If you want to check those out, I'll link them in the description below. Let's start with treatment plan 1. This is for someone who has severe active breakouts. A really common place to have a lot of these breakouts is your chest and back, and they can be all different types of pimples, especially cysts. And cysts love the oily parts of our chest and our back, and this can be happening any time of year, especially in the summer when the humidity is really high, but it's definitely something that you might have reoccurring all year long. It doesn't matter if you're exercising and sweating or if it's hot and sweaty out, you still have them no matter what. And this is such a stubborn type of acne, so I have a way to kind of combat it with a few different ingredients that work really well together if you swap them. Starting with washing, I really like to do this in the shower, but if you can't shower every single day, that's okay. Just make sure you're doing this at least once a day. So use a salicylic wash that has at least 2% salicylic acid. Neutrogena has several products that work really well. They have an active acne line. They also have a body scrub line. We've had that for a while. It works so well, especially if you have KP on your body, and it's a large bottle, so I recommend one of these, and also some of the others that are meant for facial acne issues. Those are fine as well, but 2% is really the strength that you want to work with. I really like to massage this into my skin to make sure all the oils that are on my chest and back are breaking down and getting a chance to get that salicylic acid really into your pores. Let it sit on your skin for 2 to 5 minutes, not too much longer, just a couple of minutes to let that absorb and do its job of clearing up your skin. You can also start with the benzoyl peroxide wash instead, but make sure that you're trading off the days that you use these two washes. You don't want to use them on the same day. That would be too much, and you don't want to irritate your skin. Say you started the salicylic wash on Monday. On Tuesday, you're going to wash with the benzoyl peroxide wash. And there's ones that are 4%, and there's also ones that are 10%. It doesn't matter which one you use. I think 10% is perfectly fine. That's the panoxyl one, if I said that right. It's a really common benzoyl peroxide wash. You'll see it in a lot of shops. And also there's one from CeraVe. I think that one's 4%, so like a little bit more gentle. The more important thing is you're going to do the same thing as how you washed with the salicylic acid. You're going to rub it onto your skin and let it sit there for 2 to 5 minutes before washing it off. And the reason that I recommend using both of these washes but on rotating days is because salicylic acid is really, really great with dealing with inflammation and redness in the pore, and it helps you to shed those skin cells and the oil that is inside of the pore itself. It also softens keratin, and that's something that could be clogging the pore and causing some more acne severity. And the benzoyl peroxide will help target that bacteria that is causing the acne that's inside the pore. It helps clear those pimples up and also deal with inflammation and redness. So you're going to follow up the wash with a treatment, and this is something that I also like to do with a 2-step process. So you're going to either use salicylic acid on day 1 or benzoyl peroxide on day 1. So just rotate them again. It doesn't matter which one you use on which day. You can match it with the wash. If you're doing salicylic acid wash that day, do salicylic acid treatment that day. If you're doing the benzoyl peroxide wash that day, do the benzoyl peroxide treatment that day. It doesn't really matter, but salicylic acid is going to be your best friend for this, and the additional one is going to be the benzoyl peroxide. You're going to want to have a 2% salicylic acid. This is the stronger version that you can get. I love this one from Paula's Choice. It's the biggest bottle. This is found at Ulta, Sephora, and also online, and also Amazon. The Neutrogena Rapid Clear is at the drugstores as well, so it's pretty easy to find. This is an amazing product. It already has the little pads inside of it, and all you have to do is just spread that really easily onto the areas that are affected. For me, it's going to be the chest, especially, and the upper back. And this is the boost part. You're going to add 2 drops, just 2, not more than that, of tea tree oil to your salicylic acid when you're rubbing it onto your skin, because tea tree oil is an antibacterial and an antifungal. And the fungal part is something that a lot of the times we're not told about with acne, that you really need to add that sometimes if something is reoccurring and stubborn. The antifungal of tea tree oil might really help deal with some of these issues. It's a very strong oil. It doesn't hurt. It's not, you're probably not going to have any type of reaction to it. It's just very strong at dealing with any type of skin fungus. This is a good booster. You can find this at Trader Joe's. This is the one from Trader Joe's. I put it inside of a bottle that I already had left over from the Ordinary. You can probably tell this is an old Ordinary bottle. And the reason I did that is because I like the dropper. So I'm going to recommend you have one with a dropper, so you just put 2 drops. And if you're using Paula's Choice, the 2% BHA instead, do the same thing. Just add a drop to the solution. I like to spread this with my hands because it spreads so easily. I don't necessarily need the pad. The nice thing about the pad though is for at the end of the day, if you want to swipe down those areas and you just use the pad, it kind of removes a little bit of the excess oil and stuff that you might have on your skin. So this is your next day. You're going to treat with benzoyl peroxide, and I love the ones from Paula's Choice. This is a clear skin treatment. It's 2.5 benzoyl peroxide. I also love the one from Malaysia. It's a 2.5 benzoyl peroxide gel. They're both extremely amazing at dealing with breakouts on your chest and back. Anywhere where you have like very severe breakouts, you're going to want to massage this in. Just use a little bit and really massage it into your skin really well so it spreads out. You don't need to overuse it. You don't need to put a big blob of benzoyl peroxide on a spot. Just massage it in, make sure it just covered that area, and massage it in really nicely. And this is great if you add that tea tree oil boost. It helps it spread much more evenly, and it just helps get rid of that bacteria just a little bit more than you were doing without the tea tree oil. One of my other favorite benzoyl peroxides is Persogel. That's also at the store. You can find that really easily. And be really careful with benzoyl peroxide because it is known to bleach, especially if you have a dark cotton shirt on. So use a shirt, wear a shirt that you don't mind having any type of bleaching stains. The one benzoyl peroxide that doesn't is Malaysia. It doesn't bleach for some reason. That's a guarantee. As long as your skin is dry and your shirt's not wet, as long as there's no water, it won't activate the bleaching, so it won't bleach your sheets if you put this on and go to bed. Let's move on to treatment plan number 2, and that's for someone with medium to moderate acne. And this can also be really stubborn and reoccurring, especially in the heat and humidity of the summer. And if you're working out and sweating, and also depending upon the type of clothing you're wearing, like this is not a breathable top at all. And I have a similar fabric that I'm wearing for when I'm working out, and that's when your butt and your leg area can really break out because this type of synthetic fabric is not breathable, and it can really make your acne go nuts. And you're going to want to do something where you're persistent to stop it from happening or pre-stop it from happening, especially if you know you break out in the summer. You want to start this ahead of time, and it's going to be very similar to number 1. I would use a salicylic wash and not use the benzoyl peroxide wash unless you haven't had any results from salicylic wash. So just stick to one of the types of washes. You're going to want to massage it onto your skin, use it once a day, and make sure you're letting it sit on your skin for 2 to 5 minutes before washing it off. If your skin is not responding to the salicylic wash, then switch to trying the 4% benzoyl peroxide. You may only need to use it every other day instead of every single day. Just make sure you're paying attention to your skin. If you notice a lot of irritation, don't use it so often. Just really want to clear this up, but as calmly and simply as possible, because you also want to protect your skin barrier. And just like with the severe acne breakouts, you want to make sure that you're doing a treatment. So I really love these pads. The same thing with the salicylic acid 2%. It's going to help clear up the skin and really keep it from reoccurring the breakouts and unclogging the pores. And if your skin is responding really well to this, then keep it up until everything starts clearing up really nicely. If you notice that your skin is getting red or irritated, then just do this every other day. This is when I don't mind adding a benzoyl peroxide because it's mild to moderate, and you know if you have active breakouts, you do need a little bit of benzoyl peroxide to help clear that up. So I would, again, do this every other day. I definitely wouldn't add the salicylic acid and then add a benzoyl peroxide on top of it. You're going to irritate your skin. So keep it to every other day or a couple times a week until it all starts to really clear up. So we're on to treatment plan number 3, and this is mild to maintenance. And this is where I'm at now today because I was able to clear up any issues I had with breakouts on my chest and my back and my arms. Any type of breakouts I have now are pretty much seasonal. So if it's hot and humid out, I know my chest is going to break out in different parts of my upper back and my arms. And also if I'm wearing these types of synthetic clothes and I'm doing any type of exercise or activity where I'm sweating and the chest and back area, those areas are going to have some breakouts. So this is how I control that and contain it. And it's pretty simple. It's basically, again, the same products and ingredients that I used for number 1 and number 2. And I just make sure I do a salicylic acid wash, a 1% or 2%. You can go down to 1% now because it's not as severe, but I do that every other day or 2 times a week. I don't scrub my skin so heavily and put so many heavy actives on my skin because it's pretty much contained. I like to stick to one single acne ingredient, and salicylic acid is definitely my favorite because it helps clear any type of clogged skin. And this one from Paula's Choice is really one of my favorites, and I massage that into the areas of my back and chest at night before I go to bed. And every other week I'll do a drop of tea tree oil to make sure this area doesn't have a major breakout in the summer. In the autumn, winter, and early spring, it's not so much of an issue, so I tend to not need any benzoyl peroxide or any tea tree oil, but I stick to the salicylic acid just a couple times a week to keep everything maintained, and it really helps keep my skin clear in the long run. So there's 2 other steps that you really want to keep an eye on because you're not just trying to clear your skin, but you're trying to also protect it from any future damage. And aloe vera is one of my favorite skin protecting gels or moisturizers. So if you're doing treatment plan 1 and 2, everything you're putting on your skin is kind of a bit harsh and you want to make sure that your skin is still healthy. I would recommend getting an aloe plant and cutting it like I just did, and then rubbing the open leaf onto your skin where you added the treatment. I would do this after your treatment has dried. Give it a good 15-20 minutes, or do this in the morning if you're not doing any type of additional treatment that day. This is going to help balance your skin, heal any breakouts that you have. It also is going to help a little bit with the scarring. If you don't have the plant, you don't want to plant, then just get some aloe vera gel. Just make sure you get a really nice one. I'm going to link one that I really recommend that is a lovely aloe vera gel product. And the one thing I really love about aloe is it's not going to make your skin break out. It's going to do all these amazing things, add nutrients and protection. It's not going to add any additional breakout issues to your skin. And you also want to protect your skin from the sun. As much as it's really great for healing, it also can burn your skin a little bit extra if you have these products on your skin. You go directly into sunlight like this. So make sure you're using a really good sunscreen. A mineral-based sunscreen will not be a pore clogging one. So you want to make sure you also don't have additional oils like olive oil and coconut oil, things like that that are going to make your skin break out more, clog your pores. So try to avoid those on those breakout zones. I love this one from Paula's Choice. There's several different oil-free mineral products from this brand that are wonderful for breakout prone skin. Berry Republic has this mineral based one, is sheer zinc oxide. I really like this one from Seaweed Bath Company. It also has aloe and green tea as one of the two of the top ingredients that are really wonderful for your skin. I'm actually going to go into the sunlight in a bit, so I need to make sure I have everything protected because I put so much product on my skin. And all the products that I mentioned and my favorites, the ones that I really recommend to help deal with this issue, I'm going to link them all below in the description box so you can find each of these products, and hopefully they really are going to help you as well. If you have any things that you're using that are dealing with body acne and breakouts, please comment below. I'd really love to know if you have anything that you recommend back to me or for anyone else, because I've had several people ask me about this issue. I deal with acne and talk about this quite a lot, and I didn't want to ignore the body acne issue and anyone else who's dealing with it. Again, I feel really for you, and I hope you get this under control. And if you have any tips or ideas that can help out other people, including myself, please mention them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.